All right, light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight on this Monday night, screaming through the airwaves of Haddonfield. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this little masquerade jam you stumbled upon this evening is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly, pretty much, relatively speaking, weekly gathering with the fans, fanatics, and everything in between of all things Michael Myers and the Halloween movie franchise. So thank you for hanging out with me, and that brings me to our returning friends, who I like to call the Legion of Michael Myers. What's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. You made it. You made it through another week. We all did. You made it through another Monday. And like I always say, if for no other reason, we're going to celebrate just being alive and surviving through another week, through another Monday, because sometimes that in itself can be a challenge. And we are really celebrating this week because the final countdown is on to age 45. You guys know what I'm talking about. A lot of you guys are going to be there. We're going to see you guys out there. I'm so geeked on this and excited. And we got a lot to talk about as far as some recent updates, a lot of cool exclusive merch announcements, all kinds of cool stuff. And of course, I'm going to talk a little bit about my most recent interview with Mr. Tyler Main that we dropped earlier this morning. So we got that coming up. Of course, we're going to do some shout-outs. We're going to launch some polls and all that good stuff. But first, I'm going to take a breath, then I'm going to take a sip, and I'm going to turn over here to our live chat and see what's happening. Thank you for being here tonight. Exciting time to be a Michael Myers fan, to say the least. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. And I will tell you guys, well, every Monday is pretty loose around here, but it's going to be real loose tonight because I literally just got back into town this evening. We spent the weekend up in Hampton, Virginia at the Haunted Screams Expo. Had a blast. We got a ton of great footage from that coming your way. All kinds of coverage, including some fun exclusive interviews, lots of photos, and of course, our massive video walkthroughs and all kinds of other cool stuff you're going to like. So that's coming your way this week. Did some Hallow hunting at a couple stores on the way home. That's all coming your way this week on the channel as well. Let's see, checking into the live chat. So what I'm saying is, I just got back into town a couple hours ago. Haven't got much sleep all weekend. It's been a whirlwind. It's been a busy weekend. I'm a little bit tired, but there's no way I'm not coming on here tonight and hanging out with you guys and geeking out and planning our Triple M meetup, because yeah, it is like less than 2 weeks away now, which is insane, guys. I cannot believe it is almost upon us. All right, Josh Baker has checked in. What's up, man? Thank you for being here. Megan Wagner, of course. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Let's rock and roll. I love it. Rock on, Megan. For Megan, it's a quadruple M. Happy Michael Myers Monday, Megan. Yeah. What's up, Erica Lauren Horn Mason? Welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Glad to have you here. David Suber, my man. What's up, dude? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Lighting it up. Firing up those pumpkins like I like to see. Kason Heineke is checked in. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. You rock, too. You are here every week. I love it. Russell Collier. First time here. Subbed a while back. All right. Awesome. Welcome. And I think, awesome. Thank you, Russell. Thank you for being here and for the subscription. Solid Saturn in the house. What's up, man? Mike Johnston as well. Let's see who else has Teen Wolf, of course. Howling in the Night, all the way from California. We're gonna be out in her neck of the woods very soon. A lot of us are. Let's see, Rob Windsor, my man. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. 10 days and counting. That is insane. That's barely even a week's time. Oh my gosh. Kelly, what's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Brett Patrick, straight off of his Twilight Zone watch along with our buddy Pat, the Halloween collector. Thanks for being here, man. Enjoyed listening to you guys this evening as I was doing what little bit of prep I was able to do for tonight's show. Not a whole lot, but then again, it's not, I mean, the top stories H45. That's what we're talking about. And of course, in-house, we just had an awesome interview with Mr. Tyler Main, which has been 16 years in the making for me. It's something I've wanted to do for 16 years. So of course we're going to talk about that. But it's mainly just H45 tonight. We're just blowing it out because we got one more Monday. I mean, that's how we judge and keep track of all time here on Mondays, right? By the Mondays. Which, by the way, I tweeted this out or X'd this out or whatever we call it now, and I put this out there, and I forgot to say it the last couple weeks, but I think it should go without saying that every day this month is Michael Myers Monday for obvious reasons, right? Every day this month is Michael Myers Monday. Byron has checked in as well. Awesome. Thank you for being here, Byron. AC Fall Guy. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. All the friends of the brand are here. Phil is in the house as well. ProtectSafes.com. He's going to be out there too at Pasadena. Andromeda. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Let's see who else is in here. Russell is from Toronto. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for checking in from Toronto. Let's see. I'm still way behind on these. Let me scroll down. Pat has checked in as well. Welcome, man. I'm sorry if I miss anybody. Josh, Halloween Vibes himself. Great seeing you out at Haunted Screams over the weekend, man. Josh was doing his Ghostface cosplay. See, I'm already messing up my words. It's going to be a fun one, guys. It's going to be a lot of bloopers on tonight on my part. Andromeda's is God Save Our King Michael. I love it. Josh Baker Videos has checked in. I think I might have already said that, but that's all right. Michael Myers in the house. Silent but deadly. Who else has checked in? David Suber with the WURG giving you the urge. Yes, that's right. Willie the Kid style, right? I'm no Willie the Kid, but I don't want his fate. But Tim Leo has checked in. Awesome. Cecil Horn has checked in. Welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Love seeing some new blood in the house. Young Major in the house. What's up? I'm ready for The Exorcist. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That Vibes says 6 hours straight he was Ghostface. Yeah, that ain't easy. David, I shot him 6 times. Yeah, Teen Wolf. Willie did get it straight nasty in ends. I love his death though. It is like one of my favorites in ends. Michael Myers letting his silence be heard. All right, guys. So you know what's up. I mean, we're talking H2O. That's going to be the main news. Of course, there's always more merch news. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But a lot of the merch news is like what's coming to H45. I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm probably not going to be getting too many of these souvenirs only because it's going to take every dollar that we have just to make it out there. But and we are going out there a couple days early too. So we're really doing it as econo as possible. All right, so normally I would start this off with a show and tell, and I do have something really cool to show and tell, and I wanted to do it tonight. I thought about teasing it out tonight, but I'm just gonna wait and do it proper and shoot it this week. But I picked up a little something. Probably shouldn't have. Probably should have saved my money for H45. Probably should have saved my money for 45 years of terror, but I spent a little bit of my souvenir money on something I've been wanting. And so anyway, that's in the house, but it's not in the can yet. So once I do my little unboxing video and showcase video and all that stuff, then I'm going to share that with you guys probably next week. And next week's going to be our last Monday until we are going out to Michael Myers World. That's what we're calling H45, right? Ah, unbelievable. So anyway, we're not going to start off with the normal show and tell. Instead, we're going to go ahead and do our poll results and launch this week's poll first, and it'll give you guys some more food for conversation throughout the evening as well. So last week we asked how many freestanding Michael Myers collectible figures, statues, etc. do you own? And we'll go over here to the results, and you can see with just 78 votes, 28% said none. The most popular answer was 36% said less than 5. In second place was none, 0 at 28%. In third place was more than 20 with 22%. So almost a fourth of you guys, a little over a fifth of you guys have more than 20. That would be me included. In fourth place is 9% with 5 to 10. And in fifth place is 11 to 20 range. All right, so just a minute ago, this week's poll launched. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. And this is a real easy one. I mean, it may not be an easy choice. It might be for some of you. But this was inspired by you guys last week. You guys had a great idea for a poll question in our conversation. And so this week we want to know, quite simply, Jamie Lloyd or Corey Cunningham. If you look at H4 and HNs, they both kind of, felt a little of that Michael pure evilness inside of them. And both went down totally different paths from there. But nonetheless, two very cool, can we say, sidekick characters in the franchise. And also, speaking of H45, because that's pretty much all we're going to be speaking of all night in some way or another, both of these actors, Danielle Harris and, of course, Rowan Campbell, are both going to be in the same room for the first time ever, because it is Rowan's first ever convention appearance. And it might be his only, for all we know. I mean, he might go and totally hate the experience. I doubt it. I think he's probably going to go and fall in love with the experience, but you never know. So already, just with a couple votes in, because it just launched 7 minutes ago, Jamie Lloyd taking the early lead with 67% of the vote. Corey trailing currently with 33% of the vote. All right, so you guys can start chiming in on that question right now. Thank you, Rob. He says, welcome to the best show on late night Monday. I like that. Yes, that's right. Yeah, we're a late night show. The 1031 thing started because it just, kind of makes sense. 1031, Halloween, every day's Halloween. And now it's just kind of stuck because, that's our time slot. It just feels weird to kind of do it any different time. This particular thing, anyway, the Mike Myers Monday Live, anyway. Teen Wolf says Jamie's the only one that reached Michael. She's literally the only one Michael was still capable of loving. Corey was literally a puppy following Corey around, and Michael was a cat guy. Yeah, I hear you. That's true. That's very true, yeah. Jamie brought him to tears. That's very true. Russell says the last Halloween for him was the Rob Zombie remix. Well, I hope you will take the time. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but check out my most recent interview with Mr. Tyler Main. It just dropped on this channel this morning, as a matter of fact. Oh, you guys still talking about the Willie the Kid? Awesome. All right, let's get into the H45 update. But first, let me remind you, and I've pinned the link at the top of the chat, that in our merch store right now we have the first ever Michael Myers Monday themed shirt. It says simply Triple M Crew because that is you guys, the regular friends of HDN who gather every week for Michael Myers Monday and participate, whether you're even here in the live chat. I mean, that's how I've called you guys. But even if you're out there and you're watching it on replay and you're participating in other social media, if you're part of Michael Myers Monday, then you're part of the Triple M Crew. And you can get that shirt in our merch store right now. All right, let me pull up this H45 news. Give me 30 seconds. Okay. All right. We've got a lot of H45 updates to look at. Like I said, guys, there might be some moments of extended silence as I'm pulling things up this evening, unfortunately, because not everything is completely as prepped as I normally would have it, because I was on the road most of the day. But it's all good. Aha. I see some of you are already talking about what my first news item of the evening is going to be. Now, we're going to be talking mainly about H45, but another pretty big, significant for this franchise news item has surfaced today, very fittingly, on Michael Myers Monday, I must say. And it just was brought to my attention, actually, just a couple hours ago. And honestly, I'm a little shocked by this news for a number of reasons, and I think you know what I'm talking about. And I've got some thoughts. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. What am I talking about? Well, just a few hours ago, today on Michael Myers Monday, September 18th, one Andy Matichek has been announced to be appearing at Spooky Empire Halloween weekend this October. And this will mark Andy's very first ever convention appearance. So very big deal for fans of the franchise, and especially the three most recent films, because, you know, she played one of the most pivotal roles in those three films. So, Andy Matichek, very first convention appearance. And it's not at 45 Years of Terror. Kind of interesting. I would think that would be. I would think, I mean, I know she's been invited. Certainly she's been invited. I would hope that whoever made this decision, whether it's her or an agent or a manager or an advisor or whatever, I would hope that at least the info about the big Pasadena event has crossed her own eyes and not just her people's eyes. Um, and, maybe Spooky Empire speaking too soon. Maybe something's going to happen within the next couple days. Anything's possible, right? But I was pretty shocked, especially when they're, very boldly and proudly saying, and understandably so, that this is her first ever convention appearance. So, um, I don't know why 45 wouldn't be her first. That'd be the natural place. It's going to be Rowan's first. It was James's first 5 years ago. It was her co-star Rian Reese's first 5 years ago as well. It's a number of other people's first, but I could just envision her table being right in between James and Rowan out there. You know what I mean? So anyway, just a little surprising for me because I did kind of think, I admit, after they announced Rowan, I did kind of think that she was probably going to be added. I mean, I didn't it's not like the reason I was going or anything like that. But, I kind of thought, well, if they can, book Rowan, and that would probably make her want to be there a little bit more, I would think. I don't know. Unless she's just totally not into the whole convention scene, not interested in giving it a chance. Which, would be one thing. But now with this development today, that she is definitely willing to give it a chance and jump in. And, Halloween weekend, what a perfect time and everything. But it would still be, an even more perfect time for your very first ever appearance 4 weeks earlier. It's just my opinion. And again, I don't know what the decision-making process was behind the scenes. I don't know. Maybe Spooky offered a higher guarantee or something. I have no idea. But I feel like, as far as revenue to be made, I think she would have one of the longest lines of anybody in the entire convention if she were to come. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I think she would. I mean, seriously, she would have one of the longest lines of anybody in that convention. If that was her first ever convention appearance at that event, and would still, kill it 4 weeks later down in Orlando. It's a totally different part of the country. So again, maybe I'm speaking prematurely, but they did say in their announcement, very first appearance ever, and it is happening 4 weeks after 45 Years of Terror. So, I guess I would just say, Andy, if you happen to hear this, speaking on behalf of Halloween Daily News, of all the Halloween fans and fans of these movies, we'd love to meet you. We'd love to get to know more about you and your story, and just have you experience this event that we all love, and it is a gathering. And as you can see, people are coming from all over the world for this. So, not trying to twist anybody's arm, and certainly not throwing any shade on Spooky Empire or anything. I don't know anything about them. I've never attended that event, so I can't, speak on that at all. But business is business. But again, just throwing it out there that, they're certainly not in competition with each other, 4 weeks apart and on opposite ends of the country. So, but that is definitely some big news. And for any of you in the area out here on the East Coast, going to be down in Florida in late October, Halloween weekend, there you go. There's your chance, and the first chance that we know of ever that you can go and not only get your autograph signed, but get some photos. So give me your thoughts on all of that in the live chat right now. I'm going to take a breath and a sip. Let's see. Pat says, I can see them waiting to announce her at the last minute. I could see that too, but I feel like Spooky might have just stolen a little bit of that thunder if that was the plan. And I don't know. Again, this might be totally right. I mean, I could see that too. Like I said, if she was announced, she'd be one of the biggest attractions at that convention. Am I exaggerating that? What do you guys think? I think she would have absolutely one of the longest lines, both days, bar none. Like I'd go so far as to say, like, James Jude Courtney and her line would be about even, probably, those 2 days. What do you guys think? Let's see. Rob's asking, does NAFTA, I think you mean SAG after the strike. I see what you're saying. Is it because of the strike? I mean, I don't know. From what I understand and from what Sean Park has said on his interviews and stuff, that they you know the biggest issue with the strike and the convention appearances is that they can make the appearances. They can, talk about themselves and talk to fans and stuff. It's just they can't be promoting movies, certainly not any new movies or upcoming movies. The term I heard was struck movies, and when I heard Sean talking about it on another podcast, specifically about how the panels here would work, when you think about the original Halloween, specifically the '78, that is not a studio film. That was an entirely independent film. So that's not even one that would fall under, the contract that they can't talk about. So anyway, from what I understand is that actors are all making appearances. They are doing panels, and they are answering questions as they feel comfortable with. And I think it's just every individual is different. Do I think that the strike might be part of the reason why Jamie Lee Curtis may or may not be attending? I mean, I don't know if that's a reason or if that's a determining factor, but I would see her being somebody that, just to say, I'm totally on the solidarity of this strike, I'm not going to do any kind of appearances, even if it wouldn't be a problem. I've said it before. I could see that being like her thing. I don't know if that's why she's not doing it. I don't know. But and again, my only thing with the Andy thing is, I'm just saying, I just hope that whoever is, her agent, or whoever made that decision, I just hope they had all the info about that 45 is going on. And again, this all might be, tomorrow we might all wake up and she's announced for 45, like you guys are saying could happen. So, which would be awesome, and I'd be thrilled, and we all would be. All right, I'm gonna shut up for a minute, and y'all gonna have to just fill the silence with your comments. David, yes, Spooky is the last weekend in October, and of course this ends on the first day of October, so they're literally 4 weeks apart, on opposite ends of the country. So it's not like there's any competition there, if and very few people are going to be able to go to both, I would think. I hope so, Andromeda. Kelly agrees. Thank you, Kelly. Brett agrees. Yeah. I mean, again, it's, I have no idea what the behind the scenes dealings are, and who, how most of this usually works. But I was just, I'm not lying. I was just literally shocked when I saw that, and Byron was the first one to send it to us. Because again, I was on the road all day. I didn't see any news really. There might have been other breaking news today about this franchise I didn't see. I did see all the H45 announcements today. We're going to talk about all that. But thank you, Byron, for bringing that to my attention, because it's huge news. Her first ever public appearance. And just like Rowan in Pasadena, I hope, excuse me, I get emotional about this shit. No, I sincerely hope that they both experience it and love it the way that James experienced it in 2018 for the first time and fell in love with it, and has now been a fixture on the convention circuit for the last 5 years. And you know, and he gets it, and it's awesome. And so I'm hoping they get that same experience, both of them. All right, now we're gonna do the actual H45 update. I see Darlene has checked in. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out, listening to me yap. Camp Blood in the house. What's up? Oh, thank you. Camp Blood says the Tyler Mane interview was awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, he was really cool. I loved it. And as we said in that interview, it's been a long time coming. I feel like on my part, certainly, I've wanted it for a long time. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's do H45 first. But thank you very much for checking it out. David says Sean knows what we want answers if she's not at H45. Knows that we want answers if she's not at. Good point. Well, I thought Sean was very honest and forthcoming on that. It was the road to how the road to 45 years of terror podcast, the live show that we talked about last week. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name of it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. We all watched it, and it was great. I mean, they really did, get a lot of answers that we all wanted at that time, as far as the Jamie Lee situation and all that. And I think he said as much as he could say publicly at that time, which I totally appreciate. And I think you're totally right, David. So, yeah. So who knows what will happen? Andromeda's asking for Judy. And tell her how her opinion of her character changed. Yeah, I mean, Karen definitely grew on me, too. Yeah, I didn't care for Karen in 2018, like, pretty much in the least, except for at the very end, when she has her big moment. And it is, then on rewatch, I still don't like how she acts. Not how Judy's acting, but how Karen acts towards, her mom and stuff until that very end, when she finally, and it's, she taps into what she was taught as a little girl. And then I did like her more in Kills, because that's really kind of, if you divide the three movies up, you say 2018 is Laurie's movie, and it really kind of is. It's Jamie's most powerful performance. Laurie and Jamie get the most to do in 2018. You could say the same for Karen / Judy in Kills, and then of course Ends would be Andy's movie, because Andy and Allison both are given so much more to do, in my opinion. And that's the movie, honestly, where I really liked Allison the most. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care for Karen much in 2018 until the very end, and then I'm like, all right, now she's like a legit badass. And then that carried into Kills, and I loved it, because by the time of her ending at the end of Kills, it's so heartbreaking, because they've transformed me, and I'm like, no, I'm all for Karen, and then of course they, take her out from under us right at that moment, which was brilliant, and that's why I love that. And again with Allison, I feel like in 2018 and in Kills, I didn't like her as much in 2018, as I did in Kills. I feel like in Kills you see, she's given more to do, basically. But it's really in Ends where, I feel like that's Allison's movie. And I she's got terrible taste in boyfriends, but I got Allison, I was like, oh, I see you a lot more in that movie in Ends, finally, than I was in the other ones, where it was kind of like I couldn't, really see it as clear. But I thought she nailed it in Ends, and I thought the writing and what they did with Allison in that really was cool. As polarizing as it might have been for some people, again, I'm all for the love story aspect in Ends. I thought it was awesome. Camp Blood says Joe Grizzly. Didn't they already announce Ken Foree? Did they? I think they already did, didn't they? All right. Well, let's look at the most recent H45 announcements. Since our last Michael Myers Monday live show, of course, there's been more announcements regarding the massive, epic 45 Years of Terror Halloween franchise, 45th anniversary reunion convention fan event. It's going to be the mecca for Halloween fans. And HDN is so excited to be going there to Pasadena. It's happening. The bus tour to the locations, the Horror's Hallowed Grounds bus tour, Haddonfield's Hallowed Grounds bus tour, really is happening Friday, September 29th, and then the 45 Years of Terror convention itself is Saturday and Sunday, September 30th through October 1st. Pasadena Convention Center, Pasadena, California, right there down the street from the Myers house, the Strode house, where the original film was shot. Now, this guest lineup already dwarfs pretty much any convention I've ever attended. And the fact that they are all connected to this franchise, and many of them just total, indispensable icons of the franchise, is awesome. So we've been covering pretty much every single guest announcement that has been made throughout this whole promotional period, and this week brought some more amazing guests, starting with Kathleen Kinmont, of course, from Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. But that's not all. Also announced, composer of the soundtracks for Halloween 4, 5, and Curse, as well as co-composer with John Carpenter of the soundtracks for Halloween 2 and Halloween 3, Alan Howarth is back for 45 Years of Terror. Alan was, of course, at 40 Years of Terror and performed a concert that Saturday night during the VIP show, the VIP party, I should say, Saturday night in 2018. I did put a link to our coverage with highlights from Alan's concert in the description of this video if you'd like to check that out. I had the pleasure and honor of interviewing Alan back in 2015, and I put the link to that interview in the description of this video as well. And at the time, we were attending Flashback Weekend in Chicago in 2015. Alan and many other franchise alums were there, and it was at the time when Halloween Returns was still about to be shot. Many of you will remember Halloween Returns was a franchise movie that was literally within weeks of becoming reality and going before cameras before Malek Akkad and Trankis separated from the Weinsteins and Dimension. So at the time I interviewed Alan, he was basically actively campaigning to score Halloween Returns. It was going to be directed by Marcus Dunstan, written by Patrick Melton. And he approached us, my wife and I. He approached HDN and said, come talk to me. And we did. And he, of course, gave us a great interview. But at the end of that interview, we talked about Halloween Returns and how he was so willing and excited to come back should he be asked. And, other than Carpenter, which of course Blumhouse and Trankis and David Gordon Green would ultimately go with, Howarth is the ideal perfect choice and would have been for that film, very possibly. In any case, I put the link to that 2015 interview in the description of this video as well. Very cool to see Alan added. Essential part of this franchise for a long time, and rightfully so. He should be a guest. Now, just a few hours ago, the most recent guest edition for 45 Years of Terror is Corey DeMeyers. Now, before I talk about his name, you might be wondering, who does Corey play? Does he play Michael Myers in Halloween Ends? What gives? No. Corey plays Rowan's stunt double in Halloween Ends. So Corey DeMeyers is literally playing Corey Cunningham when he is doing his best Michael Myers impersonation, for lack of a better term. Now, the fact that Corey, the real Corey's name, is Corey DeMeyers is pretty wild. Yes, it is spelled. Corey here is spelled differently than Corey Cunningham's, and of course, the Myers part of his last name spelled differently. Actually, that part is spelled right, but the DeMeyers, actually spelled wrong. My eyes are playing tricks on me. The Myers part of his last name is spelled differently. It's still pretty wild that Corey DeMeyers is his actual real name, and he plays this central character named Corey, who is himself kind of playing Myers. Kind of mind-blowing, but I was very much hoping they would book Corey once they booked Rowan. Obviously, I was hoping so, because they've got all of the Michael Myers stuntmen, even the doubles, pretty much everybody you could imagine booked for this one. So I was hoping that. And so Corey, anytime that it's Corey Cunningham in the Michael Myers mask, that is actually Corey DeMeyers. So pretty central role in Halloween Ends. So in addition to the recent guest announcements, there's been more and more really cool convention exclusives announced in the last week. And we talked about this before, how they're going to be doing a lot of, you see this at San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, all the time, where it's stuff that you can only get right there at the event itself. You can't pre-order it online. You got to go. You got to be first in line at the booth. And it's only a limited supply at the convention itself. And so a lot of these have been announced just in the last couple of days, including today. This first one we previously reported on. We did do an article on HDN because it's just so damn cool. Archie Horror. That's right, the Archie Comics brand. They have their Archie Horror line. They're releasing 2 limited edition 11x17 matte art prints featuring some of the iconic characters from Riverdale, including Sabrina, and these are just limited to 200 copies each, just 200. They're going to be available exclusively at the Archie Horror comic booth, and this is the first time that Archie Horror has ever appeared at any horror convention, so a lot of firsts here. Here's a look at the first print. They call it Hedge Heroines. And again, it's the girls of Riverdale and Sabrina Spellman standing in for our classic trio from the original film, reenacting this iconic scene in Archie Comics world with Michael Myers right there lurking behind the hedge. But this second print is definitely my favorite of the two. This one they call Shape Stalks Sabrina. And I just love everything about this print. It's just really cool. You got Michael stalking Sabrina, and Sabrina is just totally chilling. Salem the cat sees Michael, of course. Sabrina's watching a zombie movie. She's pouring herself a drink, doing her homework, using her witch magic. And yeah, that makes me really, truly want to see a crossover with these characters, like a real crossover. What do you guys think? I mean, I would love to see Michael Myers actually truly try to stalk Sabrina Spellman and see how that showdown goes down. Like, that's a heroine that is going to take it to Michael in a whole different way that he's really never experienced. Is something like that already in the works? I have no idea, but I love that this could be the beginning of a beautiful crossover relationship between the Archie horror comics and bringing Michael Myers, the Shape, into that. You guys tell me what you think, but I love both of these prints. I really do. But that's far from it. There has been a ton of apparel reveals in recent days. Let's start with this beauty from Fright Rags. Everyone is entitled to one good scare. And I just love everything about this design. It is so cool. It is Lori and, of course, Tommy and Lindsay, but they're depicted as skeletons. She's holding the iconic opening credits pumpkin, and you got Michael reaching over her shoulder with the big knife blade gleaming coming over the other side. We don't see his face at all, his mask at all. You've got that classic line from the promotions, the trick is to stay alive. Yeah, this is definitely one of the coolest Halloween 78 licensed shirts that Fright Rags has ever done, in my opinion. Give me your opinion. It's available exclusively at the Fright Rags booth at H45. And I might have to get it. I don't know. I don't know. There's so much stuff that is calling my name, and then I look in my wallet and realize, yeah, maybe not. But that's far from it, though. Here's the official event tee. Classic image of Michael from 78, as it has to be. I mean, that's what we're celebrating. The one that started it all, but we're also celebrating the entire franchise. And pretty cool that it's included with VIP, but beyond that, limited to 666 shirts. I mean, they couldn't limit it to 45 shirts, so I guess 666 is as good as any number, right? This is another killer design, an official shirt. This one's designed from artist Jason Edmondson. They call it the Halloween Icons limited edition tee. It's going to be available at Jason's booth. Looks really great. And we've talked about this before, but now we have the official announcement and a really good up-close look at that limited edition Dr. Chalice figure from Halloween 3, made by NECA. And it will be available at Sean's Horrors Hallowed Grounds booth. Look at the detail on that. I mean, it looks really good. Yeah, these things are going to go so fast. Limited to just 1,000 units. All right, Pat, Brett, my other collectors in the audience, start chiming in. What is, like, on day one, what booth are you going to? For what of these exclusives is your top priority? I want to hear from you guys. Start chiming in. Now, this was another one just announced earlier today. Contenders is going to have a booth, and they are bringing officially licensed Halloween underwear. That's right. Men's boxers as well as women's bras and shorts. Pretty awesome, I gotta say. I mean, this is a magical time we live in, that you can get yourself some Michael Myers boxers, officially licensed from the 78 Classic, 45 years and counting. Now, this is one of the coolest things to be announced recently as well. Printed in Blood, you might remember they did that great book of original licensed art inspired by the original classic. Well, now they are reprinting the original long out of print Halloween 78 movie novelization. But this time, it's in a new art book style format, composed of the original text along with almost 100 brand new illustrations. This is a great idea. A reprinting of the original novelization to the first film, and there's that original cover, which doesn't represent the film at all, but is badass nonetheless, and is iconic because it's just so different. I think this is an awesome idea. Halloween Illustrated. And yet another H45 exclusive. What is your most wanted collectible from those exclusives? I mean, there's so much cool stuff, and it's still coming. There's still more coming out. That's not even all of it. There's more coming out all the time, every day. Give me your thoughts on those new developments, on those new guest announcements, those new exclusives. What do you think? What's your favorite? And again, to my collectors out there, what is your most wanted item currently, as of now, as of this moment? If tomorrow morning was day one, what booth are you going to first? I want to hear that from you guys. Yes, Teen Wolf and Pat both want that book. Good point, Teen Wolf. Maybe they will reprint the sequel next year. Andromeda needs the book. Everybody wants that book. Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, it's been out of print forever, and you can't really find the original unless you're lucky or, you know, pay a lot. All right, let's see what you guys are saying as far as your most wanted item. What's up, Sam? Checking in. I got your email, ma'am. I got your info on file. I'll be answering you, and I'll shoot you my cell as well. No matter what, we'll keep in contact, and I appreciate the email, Sam. Sam says, I want the special edition Bloody Michael Myers and Laurie 3-inch figures. Oh, from Fright Rags. Yes. Awesome. David says, Halloween draws. That's right. City Kitty has checked in. Merry Michael Myers Monday to you, too. Russell says, those collectibles are dog bullocks. In parentheses, good. All right, Pat's going straight for the Chalice figure. Nice. I like it. Teen Wolf says that Emerson shirt is sick. Yeah, I love it too. But I still, that Fright Rags, man, with Skeleton, Lori, Tommy, and Lindsay. And again, I always personally, I have a major soft spot for Tommy and Lindsay because I've interviewed both Brian Andrews and Kyle Richards. Actually, 10 years ago, this year, on the occasion of the 35th anniversary of the franchise, I interviewed both Brian and Kyle over the phone. And I didn't put links down there because I didn't think I was going to talk about it. But, you know, anything featuring them, because I don't think they get featured enough, and they're just so pivotal to the story, just like the teenagers, the high schoolers. All right, I'm going to scroll up and see what a few of you guys are saying. Andromeda says, make sure you video lots of the meetup. Give us a shout out. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be shooting so much footage out there. Andromeda says, Andy was perfect blend of glam now final girl and old school natural horror final girl, if that makes any sense. I can kind of see what you're saying. I just liked how it ends. You know, they gave her so much more to do. I felt like Andy was more comfortable. Obviously, she would be in the skin of the character, and she's, you know, she's still not making the best choices, but you know, she's, you know, just expressing herself more, and I just found her a little more likable and relatable as it went on. Mhm. All right, let's see what else you guys. A lot of you want the book. Rob wants the H45 bobblehead and the Dr. Chalice figure. Yeah, a lot of you into the Chalice figure. I like the Chalice figure a lot. You know what? I mean, I love Tom Atkins, but man, what if we could get a Cochrane NECA figure? Ah, that'd be so badass. Or Dick Warlock, Silver Shamrock Assassin. How about that? Josh says if he was going, the NECA Tom Atkins Chalice would be the first thing he'd get. Kelly says book for sure. Oh, Sam says the book is available for pre-order on their website. So, okay, so that one's not a convention exclusive. That is available for pre-order on the website. So there you go. Not for sale at the convention. Okay, so there you go. Correction on that. They just launched it today. All right, so that's good to know. You can pre-order that book right now. Russell says we have some great conventions in the USA. There are some really great ones for sure. Kelly's asking any word on the photo autographs they posted for purchase. Um, no, I'll have to check. Like I said, I was on the road for most of the day, so I have not gotten caught up on all my emails and everything. So let me see. I can pull up the official website if you want, real quick. If you guys want to hang out for just a minute while I do this, and we can see what's on there if you want. Yeah, I don't see on here where they've got the photo ops listed, but I might be looking in the wrong place. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to find out. So I guess the short answer is no. I don't have an update on that. I'm sorry. All right, looks like Sam's got you. I like that, T Wolf. If they made a Dr. Wynn figure, ultimate fight between Loomis and Michael's slave driver. Yeah, a Curse of Michael Myers 2-pack, Loomis and Wynn. How about that? Wynn. And you can add his Man in Black coat and hat, or have it removable. There you go, NECA. That's your next $1 million idea right there. Camp Blood. Paul Rudd, NECA. Okay, this is gonna be like next week's poll question. Most wanted NECA figure. Yeah, a Paul Rudd NECA would be insane. I'd be all about that. All right. Did you guys check out my latest exclusive interview? Now I couldn't really tell you about it last week because I'm superstitious and I don't like to say who I'm gonna interview before the interview takes place because I'm just superstitious and then I might say it publicly and then something falls through and it doesn't happen or it gets rescheduled and then I feel like, oh, I feel extra bad. So it's better just say, I'm not going to say anything until it's recorded, it's in the can, and then I can announce it. So I told you that I had an interview coming up with a certain franchise person that was pretty big and significant in the franchise. And I meant that both literally and figuratively because I was talking about, of course, Tyler Mane, who played Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween '07 remake and its '09 sequel, Halloween 2. And I've known Tyler, we've talked over the years at various conventions and through social media, and we've even talked about doing an interview. And earlier this year, very early this year, actually right around the time I interviewed Dave Ferrick, I was talking to Tyler about scheduling an interview, our long-awaited one-on-one interview, and with it being the 45th anniversary, it felt like the right time and the right angle, and also recently talking to Dag, and then last year talking to Scout and Danielle before that, it was the natural progression. And Tyler was one of the last main, no pun intended, main Michael Myers actors that I hadn't done an exclusive one-on-one interview with yet. So we agreed that, and he was down, and he had told me before he was down, but he was down and to do it, and but he said he had a big project he was working on. He wanted to wait until he could talk more about that, and wait a little bit closer till late summer or early fall, right before H45. And so that's what we did, and we circled back around, and so just recently we talked, and it was awesome because Tyler, he's got all these great stories from going back to his days in the 90s as a professional wrestler, where he worked with all of these legends from like Andre the Giant in one of Andre's last matches to The Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson. And he talks about this in the interview, how he worked with Johnson. He worked with Rocky Johnson in the wrestling ring 15 years before working with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, in the Scorpion King, and seeing Rocky at Universal Studios, and those two reconnecting, and it was actually Rocky Johnson that walked Tyler in and introduced him to Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock. And he tells that story in the interview, and that was just one of the many fun stories that he shared with us from over the years, his awesome career. And really cool how his wrestling career, kind of bled into his acting career at that point. And many of you, like myself, probably remember seeing him in X-Men as Sabretooth. He didn't really have any lines, kind of like Michael Myers, but just such an intimidating, memorable, can't take your eyes off it physical presence. Again, kind of like the shape, kind of like you would want for the shape. Kind of makes sense that somebody like Rob Zombie might see Sabretooth and be like, yeah, that dude could be my Michael Myers. But of course, they did work together on The Devil's Rejects. And it was after that experience that Rob knew that that was going to be his Michael Myers. So, again, this interview, I'm very proud of it because it's been a long time coming. And I can't say that I've interviewed every single living person who's ever appeared on screen as Michael Myers. There's a couple still outstanding ones. Aaron Armstrong, I'm coming for you in Pasadena, buddy. Anyway, but he's one of the main ones. Again, no pun intended, because he did play the character in 2 films, and I thought he did a great job. And regardless of what you think about the films, most people agree that Tyler was an insanely good choice to play Michael Myers in those films. And for me, this is just a fun kind of full circle moment because, we started the year talking to Daig, and then here we are right on the eve of H45, and we're talking to Tyler, and it's kind of bringing that little bit full circle, and then we're all going to be in the same room in like a couple days. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play a little clip from that interview. If you've already watched it, apologies for the redundancy. If you haven't watched it, enjoy this clip, and then hopefully you'll watch the full interview. I did put the link down in the description below. We talk about everything from celebrating Halloween, growing up in Canada, to Tyler's most recent current project and upcoming project, which is a graphic novel. And in this clip, it's about 10 minutes long. He talks about working with Rob and getting that call to play this iconic character and what that meant to him, and also a little bit about his new project, which is called The Last Spartan Red Tape. So, I'm going to take a break from talking for a few minutes. I'm going to play this clip for you guys. As usual, I'll still be right here chiming in a little bit in the live chat as it goes on, giving a little bit of commentary or just chiming in to your thoughts and comments. And then we'll come back and we'll do a couple shout outs. And then I got to get some sleep because it's been a wild, long weekend. But enjoy this clip of my exclusive new interview with Tyler Mane, the one and only. And if you haven't already, be sure to watch the full interview at the link in the description. All right, here you go. Tyler Mane and myself talking Michael Myers, Halloween, and a little bit of The Last Spartan, which you can get lots more of in the full interview. Check it out. I guess.
I did this DDP's role.
Oh, okay.
But they had other plans, and I went in there for 4 days of filming, and I thought, okay, that's it, and I had a great time, got to meet a lot of cool people.
Sorry for the technical issues. I'm going to try that again. And you guys had worked together just a little bit on The Devil's Rejects, right? Was that when you first met Rob, I guess it was?
Yeah, I just auditioned.
Okay.
I didn't know that they were replacing the Rufus. I thought I was auditioning for DDP's role,
Oh, okay.
but they had other plans, and I went in there for 4 days of filming, and I thought, okay, that's it, and anyway, I had a great time, got to meet a lot of cool people, and then a little while later, I get a phone call, and it's Rob, and he says, hey, I'm making this movie, and I wrote it with you in mind, and if you don't do it, I don't want to do it. So I'm like, all right, cool. What is it? And then he explained how he was going to tell the backstory and make him more than a one-dimensional character, which I think is really cool because it shows his backstory of how he became a product of his environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask that if it was just a phone call like that Rob called you, if there was any audition or anything, but he literally told you, if you don't do it, I'm going to walk away from it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I remember hearing afterwards, he was, I think, on Jimmy Fallon or one of those shows, and they said, oh, do you know who's going to play the character? And he goes, yeah, I do, but I don't want to say because then he'll ask for more money. I'm like, damn.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he knew all along.
Yeah, he definitely had you pictured for his portrayal. And like you said, it was very striking because none of the movies had ever spent that much time on the backstory. And I actually had your co-star Dave on here not too long ago, earlier this year. And so this is another full circle moment for us here at HDN. But we had him on here and we talked about that, how it was like you're seeing Michael, behind the scenes and getting inside Michael's head. And that's really what I like about Rob's movies is it's much more about what's going on in Michael's head than any of the others, where it's the others are about, the victims or the survivors. And
right.
Whereas he really wanted to dive in there and get inside his head.
Yeah, and show you just the dark deepness of Michael Myers, which was cool.
And like you said, a product of his environment.
Yeah.
So, obviously you were familiar with the character. Were you like a fan of the original film? How familiar, what was your relationship with Michael Myers prior to getting that role?
I was semi-familiar with the character. I'd seen the movies in the past, but I got to admit it didn't compute completely until I went back and did my research, and I was like, oh man, I got some big shoes to fill. So, and then Rob and I were just talking and saying how we were going to do it, and it turned out pretty good, pretty intense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love how it turned out, and of course, it made a ton of money at the box office. Held the Labor Day box office record for like a decade, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
14 years.
Yeah, 14 years, and yeah, last year was the 15th anniversary of that remake, and this year, 16 years of that, 45 years of this whole franchise. And you said when you went back and watched, you started realizing, all right, I've got some big boots to fill, we'll say. But when did it really hit you? Was it after the film came out, or at what point did it really hit you that you were part of this kind of elite fraternity of guys that have worn that mask on screen and this massive legacy with this massive fandom?
Yeah, I realized it was pretty big and that it had a big fan following. But when I was at the age 40, I was like, we were taking these pictures with everybody, and I was like, who's that guy? He goes, oh, he was a Michael Myers and so-and-so, and I'm like, how do I not know this? There were so many people in that picture. I was like, and it was just people that were related to the character, that.
Yep.
And, at that point, I realized just how big it was.
Yeah. And I remember seeing that photo you're talking about of that epic gathering, and I'm sure it'll be done again at the 45th. And of course you guys came back together. You did the sequel. Was that just an easy decision when Rob called again? You were just like, hell yeah, I'm in, or did he have to convince you Oh,
No, no, I was signed to a three-picture deal actually,
oh, okay.
and we ended up doing two of the three, and the third one was put on the shelf because Rob wasn't going to do it, you know. But
Yeah.
Scout and I were going to do it back in the day, and they were going to greenlight it and everything, and but they didn't know who was going to direct it or where the script was coming from or anything like that. So,
I got you.
you know, and I'm kind of glad they did because it wouldn't have. I don't know that it would have had the same weight that Rob's did,
Yeah.
you know, which is very important.
You mean if another director, another creative
If
team
another
came in
director,
and
yeah,
yeah,
someone else would have come in
right.
and tried to, you know, take those reins, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And I remember when they first announced the 2018 film, and you, I think, might have been the first person from this, you know, from previous films that weren't necessarily involved in the new ones. That I remember you on social media, you were like, "Hey, this is great." I think it was right when they announced that Nick and James were going to be doing their thing as the new Michael, and you were like, "This is
Yeah.
awesome. I'm thrilled to have had my time and thrilled to, you know, pass it on." And I remember seeing that at the time, thinking, "Yeah, that's pretty classy and cool." You know that, you know, just wishing the next iteration of this character well, because as we all always say, I mean, Michael's so big, he's going to be reinvented long after we're all gone. I think.
So many times, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, with playing him twice, I was like, okay, every time I want to do something, kick up the volume, you know.
Yeah.
So if we would have done a third one, I wouldn't know what we would have had to do to make that kind of an impact. Because from one to two, it's two is way more aggressive than the first ones in that, and you know, because I just don't want to be. I didn't want to be just doing the same thing every film because
Right.
it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, what's the purpose of that?
Yeah.
No.
And and I know you and Scout have remained tight, and whenever I see you guys or pictures of you guys on your social media out at conventions together, you're always having fun, goofing off, and have
Yeah.
remained friends, almost like a family, which is cool for us as fans to see.
Yeah, yeah, she's a sweetheart. We are pretty much, you know, pretty much like family.
I,
And it's the way it is with all the characters, you know,
yeah.
Danielle and
Yep.
Christina and all of them. Like when we run into each other, it's just like, hey, how is like no time has passed practically. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
What would you say has been like your most surprising thing about this 16-year journey from getting that role and doing that rewatch of those films and kind of realizing, and then now here we are looking at, you know, the big 45th anniversary of the whole franchise and everything. What's been like, is there one overriding thing that surprised you the most?
Just, you know, just how big the fan following is, you
Yeah.
know, which is fantastic. Because like without you guys, the fans, we wouldn't have a job. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, we're I love what you did in the role, and I know tons of our readers and viewers do as well. So, now with 45 years coming up, you're doing something really cool there, and it's going to be raising money for a great cause. And you've been doing it at some other conventions, and I want to hear about that. But maybe you want to tell us a little bit about what your new project is first, because that ties in with this great charity that you're working to raise money for now. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about your latest project.
Yeah, sure. You know, I've got my own production company, Main Entertainment,
Mhm.
and we're doing a graphic novel. So imagine Sons of Anarchy meets True Detective with a human trafficking theme. So what I've been doing since we did our research for this graphic novel, I've decided that I have to do something to give back to the community and to people. I'm teaming with deliverfund.org and Trafficking in America Task Force.org to help them raise awareness and get their message out. But we are doing a Kickstarter that goes live October 17th for this graphic novel. It is written by Christopher Priest, who wrote the Black Panther, Punisher, Vampirella. I think he's written some Captain Americas. I mean, he is the man. And then we've got art by Will Conrad, Jimbo Salgado, Michael Montenot. And then we have various different artists doing various covers, and they are top tier artists. And I'm so excited, and I can't wait to bring it all to you people.
All right. Once again, you can watch my full interview. It's an awesome, relaxed, candid conversation. It goes for about 40 minutes total. And I did put the link down in the description of this video. If you haven't watched it already, check it out when we're done here or tomorrow, whenever you get a chance. No hurry, it'll be there. But I do want to add just a tiny bit to that interview that pertains to specifically to 45 Years of Terror. Now, as you heard towards the end of that clip, we're talking a little bit about Tyler's new project, this graphic novel that he is working on. It's called The Last Spartan Red Tape. Now, he mentioned the charities that he's working to help raise awareness. He's working with them to help raise awareness about human trafficking here in America, right? And one of the things he's been doing to raise money is he's been going to conventions this summer and doing in-costume photo ops, wearing the new Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 07 mask and a custom-made cosplay outfit. It would have to be custom to fit him, I think. And he's doing these photo ops, and everybody at these cons that buys tickets to his photo ops, they're then automatically entered into a raffle. And then the winner of the raffle gets the mask he was wearing in the photo ops, plus the other 07 version that Trick or Treat makes, and the jumpsuit. Pretty awesome, right? Especially if, like, you know, you're already buying the photo ops. You're already getting what you paid for with the photo op. And if you happen to win the raffle, even better, but you're already entered in the raffle. So it's a pretty good deal. So he's only doing this 2 more times, though. 2 more times ever. Okay? So he's going to be doing it at 45 Years of Terror. And then one more time at one other convention. And these are the last times he says in this interview that he's ever going to be doing photo ops in this costume. But 45 Years of Terror will be one of those times. And again, you're going to be entered into that awesome raffle. So check out the full interview. Of course, we also talked about Halloween itself, the holiday, and some of Tyler's memories of growing up in Canada and what the trick-or-treat scene was like there, and lots of other cool stuff. Playing Sabretooth in X-Men, all that cool stuff. So check out the interview if you haven't already. I appreciate it. I'm going to check in over here in the live chat, and then we're going to do some shout-outs real quick. Yes, Teen Wolf. Yeah, H3's canon too. And another part that makes H3 canon, well, to me, I mean, the way the new movies used Silver Shamrock, I mean, Silver Shamrock clearly exists in the most recent canon timeline. Yeah, I mean, what's canon in this franchise? To me, it's all canon. Every movie, it's just a different choose your own adventure. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you could watch Halloween 3 and just stop there. I would advise, though, watch Halloween 1. Always start there. And then either stop, that's option 1, proceed to H2 is option 2. Or skip H2, proceed to H3. That's option 3. Or skip all of them, proceed to H2O. That's option 4. Or skip all of those and jump all the way to 2018. That's option 5. Or option 6 is don't start with part 1 and start with Rob Zombie's remake. So right there, you've got 6 options of how to even start your adventure. And there's more options than that to continue. And I think that's a great way to look at it, you know. And every year you could even do it differently. Every month you could do it differently, for that matter. Yes, Rob, down to 10 days. I can't wait. Look, I shared the link in there to our Legion of Michael Myers Facebook group. Jump over there, join the group, join the attending H45 chat. We're going to start making some specifics as far as what time this meetup's going to be. I'm thinking we might have to pick a time during convention hours just to make sure everybody's there. I think most of you guys are coming in a couple days early like we are. Most of you, from what I'm hearing, are doing the bus tour. Not everybody. So to me, as far as what specific time we should all meet up, and at the very least, and again, I'm not trying to clog up your time and everything, but you know, we all want to get together at least for a group photo and to see each other face to face for a little bit. So I'm thinking probably either Friday sometime after the bus tour, which, you know, I don't know how logistically that might work out, or we just pick a time during the Saturday events at a time when the majority of us aren't going to feel like we're missing a panel that we absolutely have to be to, which is going to be tough. Which brings me to some breaking news tonight that I just literally saw as we were watching that clip, and I went over to double check the events, and I noticed that the event schedule has changed yet again. And just last week I said it might change again. Well, it has changed again. And there's another panel that has just jumped up to my top of my priority list. Check this out, guys. Everything's pretty much the same, except for there's a new panel added. On Saturday, now at noon, we're going to start with the H2 panel. That's going to be followed at 1 p.m. by the H3 panel. Originally, they were going to be at 2 and 3, remember? Now, though, at 2 p.m., there is a Malik Akkad panel. That's right, Malik himself. The whole panel to himself, it sounds like. 2 p.m. That's going to be followed at 3 p.m. by the 78 panel. And that's the last panel of the day. The convention floor will close at 7 p.m. on Saturday. The after hours event will begin at 8. Doors will open at 7. As soon as the convention ends, basically. And it says show goes to midnight. Entertainment begins at 9. And it's included with VIP or $10 cover for anybody without VIP. And the schedule for Sunday still looks pretty much like we discussed, beginning at noon with H4, 1 p.m., Rob Zombie's Halloween, and H2. 2 p.m., a must-see for me, the most recent Halloween trilogy panel. 3 p.m. is a merchandising Myers panel. 4 p.m. is an Art of Halloween panel. But now the final panel of the entire event, beginning at 5 p.m., is listed as to be announced. I'm not even going to speculate on if that could mean something special. It probably means they just haven't figured it out yet, and it's nothing to get too excited about. But I am excited about this Malik Akkad panel at 2 p.m. on Saturday. And I definitely plan to be there for that one. I will be front row for the Malik Akkad panel on Saturday. I don't mind telling you, if of my list of if I could interview anybody from this franchise that I have not already interviewed ever, living people, excluding already people that have already passed on, it would be Malik Akkad. Totally, 1,000%, yes. And I don't know if I ever get that chance, but the fact that he's going to have a whole panel Q&A just to himself, I want to be there for that. That sounds really cool. So that's a new addition, and that's an awesome addition. And again, I don't want to be in the panels the whole time because then I'm not out on the floor, and that's where a lot of like the magic moments and just meeting you guys and just so much is happening. But the panels are so cool because you're getting a whole nother kind of moments and potentially some news. I don't know. We'll see if Malik's there. But you guys tell me what you think about that. What panels are your priority? And chime in on what I'm saying about the meetup. Do you think we should just pick a time on Saturday? Do you think we should try to do it sometime after hours of the convention, which would probably mean Friday because Saturday a lot of people are just going to go straight from convention right into that after hours party most likely. Andromeda, a Malik NECA. All right, I'm going to write it down. That's going to be next week's poll question. I think we already did a similar one for the bobbleheads, but I'm going to say most wanted NECA figure. And Malik would definitely be an option. Yeah. Hell yes. He might be my most wanted one. I don't know. How about a Malik and Mustafa 2-pack? Oh my god. Oh my god. And just for the record, my most wanted Halloween, like my most wanted ever is Carpenter, but I've been so lucky I've been able to interview him already. And of course I'd love to do it again and wouldn't turn down the chance if it ever presented itself, of course. But if we're counting people I've never interviewed and are currently living, Malik's at the very top of the list because I've been so lucky to interview so many people from this franchise, which I love. And Malik, though, I mean, he grew up on these sets. I mean, like, some of his earliest childhood memories. Like, I always ask. I ask Tyler. I just love asking people whether they're connected to this franchise or not. We're Halloween Daily. So I like those warm, fuzzy Halloween memories of growing up, and I like hearing about people, how they celebrate it today, and how it's never left them. But with Malik, you figure those memories of Halloween the holiday, I don't know that they're even separated at all from Halloween the movies for him. I mean, if you think about it, how the family he grew up in, what he's grown up around, and then to go into straight, like, was there ever another career path, or was it always, I'm the heir to Haddonfield, I mean, Mustafa, he was the godfather, right? I mean, if John and Deborah were mother and father of this franchise, then Mustafa was certainly the godfather of it all, right? David says John Carpenter NECA. Oh, well, yeah, that might win. Deborah Hill NECA, though? I mean, the John Carpenter NECA. Oh my god, David, that's like... They would have to almost do eras, though, maybe. How about 70s Halloween era Carpenter? 80s They Live era Carpenter? 90s, like, Mouth of Madness era Carpenter? 2000s, I guess would be... The Ward or Ghost of Mars era Carpenter. The Ward's really technically 2010s, I guess. And then now, most recently, late 2010s and now into the 2020s, of course, we've got the solo band John Carpenter era. So, yeah, maybe some figures for all of the above. Yeah. All right, let's do some shout-outs real quick, and then I'm going to get out of here. You guys keep chiming in on what day you're feeling for the meetup, and then we're gonna lock it in that Legion of Michael Myers Facebook group over the next couple days. I'm gonna come on here next Monday. It's gonna be crazy because we're getting on a plane like in a few hours after that. So it's going to be insane. But we're going to come on here and count down the last Monday before Ultimate H45. But like I said, every day this week is truly Michael Myers Monday. And I think you guys feel me on that. All right, let's do some shout outs. And these are some fun ones this week. I included, well, we'll get there in a minute. Let's first go to, what do we call it? The site formerly known as Twitter, which is weird because even though everybody's telling me they're not Twitter, my browser still says twitter.com, so go figure, right? All right. Steve at 52. Steve New says, good night, everyone. I hope you all had a great Michael Myers Monday. A nice Michael Myers Monday collage of Michael through the decades. Another one from the former Twitter. And you can watch that they actually made a kind of funny Michael Myers Monday weekend recap. It tells a little story. And you can read along if you feel like it. Pulling clips from all kinds of previous GIFs, clips. Pretty much all the other viral Michael. And there's little Tyler. But of course I gotta share this from Peter Poole, 1960. Putting all that effort and love into Michael Myers Monday. And this, I just dig this art. I know some people don't want to see Michael as cute. And he's certainly not. We get it. He's pure evil. He ain't cute. But, come on, man. I mean, this is cool. Dustin Romero at Dustin Romero Art. Cool last name, by the way. Says, happy Michael Myers Monday. I painted this piece called Mr. Sandman's Lullaby. I like it. Moving over to Instagram. This one comes from Michael Myers of RI. I think that's of Rhode Island. Great looking mask. Another one from IG. This is that new Michael Myers Loungefly backpack posted by Nocturnal LY. Nocturnal _ LY, that is. This badass image from Harvey.cos. He says, Willie the Kid, this boogeyman been sitting in hibernation, but trust me, y'all, he'll be back. More prophetic words may have never been spent over the Haddonfield, may have never been said over the Haddonfield airwaves. About time to call it a night, guys. All right. Last week, we took some from TikTok because Michael Myers Monday, we've always traditionally shared shout-outs from Twitter and Instagram. And then, threads I would share more, but it's a little hard to find them if they're not tagging us. But TikTok, you can search the hashtag, and there's a ton of great Michael Myers Monday action going on over on TikTok, you guys. And speaking of the amazing Tyler Mane, I gotta share this, posted earlier today on TikTok from the Creepy and the Kooky. Pretty badass recreation of Tyler's escape scene. And if you watch the interview, I've got one of my Michael 07 collectibles in the background. I totally flaked, though. I should have had my escape mask back there. I always try to, whenever I can, if I own one, have the mask corresponding to the person I'm interviewing. I don't always own the one, but if I do, but I don't own, we're getting the trick-or-treat ones. I don't have them in stock yet, so I would have done that if I had it, but I don't yet, but I flaked. I've got the escape mask on the wall in my living room, it would have been perfect and even a deeper cut than what I had up there. But anyway, but I love that escape mask for the record. All right, back to some Michael Myers Monday TikToks. This one from Thick Myers. Michael getting in shape. I mean, there's some really funny stuff on here, guys. You should be checking it out. This one's from Speedy Myers. All these were posted today. And one more from TikTok here for Michael Myers Monday. This is from the Ginger Horror Guy. Speaking of collectibles, yeah, he's got them all. All right, so you guys know what's up. If you want to be featured on the shoutouts, well, use the hashtag. And if you really want to, then tag us, shoot us a DM, and say, hey, I'd love to be featured on tonight's live show, and we'll see what we can do. And just another reminder that our Triple M Crew t-shirts are available now in the HDN merch store. All right, let's jump over here to the live chat one more time tonight. We're wrapping it up. It's well after midnight. But look, guys, there's going to be a lot of cool content coming up on the channel this week. And then next week, like I said, HDN is going to Hollywood. It's crazy. It's nuts. I'm excited. A little nervous. But it's going to be wild. And you guys are going to follow along. And some of you guys are going to be out there early too. Maybe we could even connect early. I don't know. It's going to be wild. But all of you that have joined the chat in the Legion group, that's the place where we're going to finalize down to the minute what we're going to do as far as the meetup. And the main thing is we need a specific time, and maybe it's in the lobby of the convention center. We're all going to meet up. We'll get some group photos and do some video clips and shout outs. And yeah, those of you that can't be there and are going to be experiencing it all vicariously through us, yes, we're going to share it with you. And I'm going to do my best to try to do some live broadcasting while we're out there. Of course, we're going to have tons of footage that we're going to edit later on and bring to you. And who knows, maybe a couple interviews on site. We'll see how that goes. 5 years ago, we were able to interview quite a few Michael Myers actors and other cool alums out there. So we'll see how it goes this year. The lineup, I just can't say enough. It like dwarfs anything I can think of in recent memory. You guys tell me, do you remember anything this big for this franchise happening? I mean, I know, 25 was big, 30, 35, 40. This just feels so much bigger to me. Is it my imagination, or is it really that much bigger? All right. I'm going to look in here in the live chat one more time. Awesome, Teen Wolf. Yes, yes. You have to come. You have to come hang with us. David's gonna be there. Oh my God, Andromeda. Coupe de Ville NECA. A 3-pack Coupe de Ville NECA. Oh, you might have already won next week's poll. That is killer. Get the likenesses. I'm sure Nick and Tommy would be all for it. I don't know. John might. I don't know. Rob's gonna be out there a week from Thursday. Teen Wolf says 3 little Mingos. Put the pre-order up for the bag with the Myers house on it. And that's another thing I'll go ahead and tell you. I've got a Hallow hunting video coming up this week. Today I was at a Party City up in Virginia on our way home. And of course I did the little walkthrough. But one of the cool things in there was a new bag. Not the Spirit version. Not the Myers house version that you guys are talking about. This one is the Judith Myers tombstone bag. Yeah, Party City. It's got that one. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you being here. Thank you, David. I appreciate you being here. Gonna see you soon, brother. And let me know if there's anything we can do to help out your situation, man. Rob, you know we are stoked as well. Josh, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, Pat, you're getting out there. You're getting out there even earlier than us. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. All right. Um, well, again, it's late now. I'm tired. So keep chiming in. Even after we turn it off, if come back, chime in on the comments down below and let me know. Otherwise, join the Legion group. That's where we're working out all the details for the first ever Triple M meetup at H45, HGN at H45, Triple M crew, Michael Myers Monday on a Saturday, maybe. Every day this month is Michael Myers Monday. It's gonna be awesome. And who knows? Once we lock it in, I'm gonna start reaching out to some other friends and just let them know, hey, if you happen to have a minute, this is where we're gonna be at this time for a fun little photo op, and then it's on from there. But no matter what, we're all gonna be out there, so we're all gonna be seeing each other. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna see me sweating. I'm gonna be running around like crazy for a lot of the convention because that's typically what we do. But yeah, I'm couldn't be more excited to see you guys. It's might be the part I'm looking forward to the most, which is crazy because 5 years ago, we didn't have this particular. We had the community, the HDN community. We had the Michael Myers Monday community. We didn't have the Michael Myers Monday live YouTube community yet, though. That wouldn't start until August of 2020, and that's where a lot of this comes in. So, culmination of a lot of things here and some full circle moments. So, all right, it is well after midnight, approaching the 2-hour mark since we started this broadcast, and I never really intend to go beyond about an hour, hour and a half, and yet here we are yet again. So if you stuck it out this long, you rock, and if you didn't, you still rock, even if you just tuned in and passed out halfway through. I get it. If I were you, I might have tonight too, because I'm super tired. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I can't wait to see you all in just 10 days. Insane. Join the Legion Facebook group, Legion of Michael Myers. Look for it on Facebook. Once you join the group, you'll see in the chats if you're attending. If you're attending and you want to be part of the meetup, that's the best way. I'm in there. Everybody else here pretty much has checked in. That's definitely going and wants to be a part of this. So if you haven't yet, do that. And again, feel free to reach out to me privately. Some of you have already. You can DM me. You can email us directly through the contact page on HalloweenDailyNews.com. You can send me a private DM through Instagram, whatever your choice. But make sure you reach out. Let me have your contact info so that you don't miss the meetup. And yeah, let's do something cool out there and represent, right, guys? All right, you guys rock. You guys make every Monday more killer for me. So I'm just trying to return a little bit of that to you guys. Watch my interview with Tyler. Very proud of that. And those of you that have already and commented on it tonight, I feel you. I love it. I appreciate it. And until the next one, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. I want to thank you all for watching, for joining me on this Michael Myers Monday. And the next time we gather on a Monday, it will be the final Michael Myers Monday before the event of the decade for this franchise. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Good night.